my name's Cassie, and I just decided I wanted to start doing some daily vlogs, mostly just to keep my media up and do something throughout my day. And so I thought, why not start today? It's doing some interesting stuff today. Of course, it is a beautiful snowy day here in Kamloops. You can't really see out the window, but it's just coming down like crazy, and I have to admit it's like the second snowfall of the year for a BC town. That's a little weird. So what are we doing today? I am essentially repotting some of my plants, and a little bit of a goofy thing to do in the middle of winter, but I thought we'd give it a go, and I'm starting mostly with my succulents. So I'm going to show you a little bit of those. I just recently actually bought a couple of succulents, which, guilty, I tend to go a little nuts, and I'm trying not to, but anyone who's a succulent fan knows it is hard. Sorry, I'm just setting up my camera here. That'll do. Alrighty, so I started my day with this guy. This here, debating if I'm going to give it a name. Sometimes that seems a little weird, but it sounds kind of fun. So it's either going to be Al or Vera. Very creative for my aloe vera. Turn you around here. So, great big aloe vera plant. Absolutely freaking love it. When I got it, it had bits of plant literally sticking out of the bottom. So I thought, you know what, this is something that I should give a go, try it out. And I divided it up. It was in a tiny little tub. I think I've got it here somewhere actually, about, hand palm size tub. And I managed to get 14 separate aloe vera plants from it that all split up, and I even have a little one here for a friend of mine. It's kind of the runt of the litter. It's the one that was sticking out the bottom, so a little goofy. It actually curves up and around, so the root of it comes around here and up and curves. The weirdest little thing, but I think it's adorable. So we're going to go with that. From there, I've got a couple little pick-me-up kind of plants. This guy here, it's a jade plant from my grandmother's house. It's not the whole plant, though. My mom actually took it, and the first thing that happened when she got it at home was cat knocked it over and broke off about half the plant. So she was pretty upset, I'll be honest. But bonus for me, because I got a chunk of the jade. Additionally, I have my own jade. I've got a beautiful cascading jade. Absolutely love it. Now, it's going to look really gross, fair warning. I've got about 2 different pots with about this much in it. And the reason I'm repotting today, in addition to the fact that currently all I've got are plants in potting soil, which I'm starting to learn. I'm still very new at succulents. That potting soil is way too absorbent for these plants. So you want to switch them out for cactus soil, something with drainage. Biggest thing I'm learning is actually make sure there's a drainage hole. And of course, when I got onto the whole succulent craze and decided to start buying them, I went and I thought these were super cute. And I bought myself some solid, with no drainage holes, cement containers. And I've got like a little long one that doesn't have anything in it right now that I'm planning on doing. And I noticed that those succulents went from great big full succulents to little skinny sticks. And I realized it's the drainage. I have had a couple of casualties, I'll be honest. Not the best succulent person, but I am working on it. So switching them out for cactus soil is number 1. Number 2 is because I'm currently in like a sweet apartment style building and I don't have my own garden, I've got all my succulents inside, which I learned recently leads to things that could potentially hurt your plants, like mealybugs. Now, if you're starting out with succulents and you've never heard of what that is, keep an eye for it. It honestly looks like mold if you don't know what it is. And I've had so many of my friends turn around and throw out their plants. Plants they've had for maybe like 6 months, started to grow, got the right stuff, and then they pop up all white and gross. Now, of course, I didn't think to actually grab one for a video before I started the video, but hopefully I'll post like a picture in the comments of a couple of them. What I'm doing is I went online and I found out you can mix alcohol, like rubbing alcohol with water, and spray them, and it should kill the bugs. Of course, the biggest issue is, to me, mealybugs sound like lice, because they're little white bugs, except for they look furry, sort of. They kind of look like cobwebs. Little white bugs that live on your plants and put eggs in the soil. And much like lice, you can kill the worms, but you have to make sure you've got the eggs out, otherwise they're just going to come back. Now, this is my first time dealing with them. I've heard they're really hard to get rid of, so it might just be an issue of once a month. I'll give them a spray with the alcohol solution. Now, I've got this teeny tiny little water bottle. I only filled the alcohol from here to here, and the rest is water. I'm going to see how that goes. I do have a 99% alcohol, and we'll see if that works. And then from there, yeah, I'm going to basically keep an eye on them. I've read you can put the alcohol right in the soil after spraying them. I'm going to try changing out the soil first. And then I've got 1 or 2 plants that I'm actually not changing the soil for. They're just regular everyday plants. For example, this guy here. It's kind of like a clipping from one of the plants I grabbed at my grandmother's house before they ended up getting rid of it. So it seems like it's not much, but it's kind of sentimental. One of those things. So a few minutes ago, it was actually covered in mealybugs. Now, I don't know if maybe it's because it's because it's more of a tropical, well, not tropical, but it's more of like a plant, less of a succulent plant. They just like evaporated when I sprayed it. For the succulents, I'm actually taking Q-tips, and I'll spray it, and the biggest thing is to get under the leaves. I'll spray it, and then I'll go in and I'll sort of wash it off, and I'll make sure any of the little mealybugs are stuck to the edges of the cotton from the Q-tip, and then get rid of the Q-tip. Obviously, you don't want to leave it lying around just in case. I'm not exactly sure if the alcohol kills them from like burning them or if it kills them from suffocating them. I'm definitely going to do more info on that, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing today, is starting out with all my funky little plants here, and then I'm going to go to a nutrition thing, because plants, eating healthy, exercising, it's kind of part of my resolution, I guess you could say, but trying to get a little more on top of things, a little better control over my life. So I guess I'll take you around. You can take a look at some of my plants if you choose. I'm guessing I'm probably not going to have really any viewings on this, so why not? Alrighty, so I've got some new plants here. This little guy, now this guy's just sticky paper for little flies, and I'm in a pretty old building, beautiful building, I love it, like I love living here, but at the same time it's a bit old, so there's a lot of ways for bugs to sort of hide out, and keeping the house clean and keeping something as a trap is really helpful, and I've noticed a few of them. I don't think I have any here that are just full. And I do apologize if you saw my floor. It's really gross right now. It's just because I kind of took everything that I was using, all the bags. I got bags of dirt. So, of course, could have put them in like a box, I guess. But I'm planning on going later today and getting a tub and some earthworms. And I'm hoping to sort of just recycle the soil that I took out of these plants. If I can revitalize it, bring it up a bit. A friend of mine who lives down the road, we're going to look into getting a compost. So who knows, maybe that'll help. And then, yeah, use it for the future. Alrighty, so you already saw my aloe veras. Absolutely love them. And then I've got a couple of these little guys. Now, these are mostly things that were part of a bigger plant, and I sort of rescued after not taking the best care of them. Biggest thing I learned is soil does matter. I thought it didn't. I thought as long as I felt like I was watering them correctly. And I had one of my plants actually fall apart on me after I didn't water it for a month because it was too wet. And I realized maybe that wasn't the best soil. So I've switched everything out for cactus soil. I've got 2 different brands here because I bought the first one, and then I bought this, then I ran out, so I bought the second one. So this one's kind of more of like a dirt. It's just that like pro mix, where this guy here is your basic art naps, cactus. They don't even have color on the bags kind of things. So it'll be interesting to see which one grows better, to be totally honest. I've got a couple little guys. Here's one tiny little aloe that was just too small to fit in the rest. And this guy here, it was kind of more of a root, but it's also an aloe. We're going to see if it makes it. And then this one looks empty, but I had a bit of cactus plant, or the Christmas cactus in it. I just watched a video, though, that says that these roots should be pink, and I'm wondering if maybe I've missed my chance. So I'm just going to sort of like leave that on top and hope it keeps growing, but I might just try again. When it comes to repotting plants, a lot of stuff falls off. So I have got handfuls of leaves that have just popped off while I'm doing it. All different types, and I'm going to see if I can procreate those, and who knows, maybe it'll work. It is actually getting into winter a little bit more, so I'm a little worried about the heat within the house. Like I said, old house, a lot of cold areas. Of course, I am a reptile owner, so luckily it's a little warmer in our place. Let's move around here. Here's that other cascading jade. This one, what I did is, because half the jade was infested and half was still okay, I split it up into a cascading jade that didn't have any mealybugs and one that did, which is, of course, this guy. So I'm hoping this one won't need so much care, but I'm honestly just going to spray all of the plants just in case to keep them up. Now, this guy here was a bit of a failed attempt at decorating. So I'm basically just took a couple of the plants that didn't make it on their own, and I'm going to put them together, find probably the best lit window in my house. Currently I think it's this one. Gives me a lot of sunlight, which is nice, and move from there. And now another one that I bought at the plant sale, which was awesome. These ones, by the way, were the ones that just fell apart. And I hadn't watered this one in a month because it didn't look like it needed it. And if I squeeze it, it literally starts to drip water. Oh my goodness, I just splattered all over the place, but you can tell it's like dripping. And it's, yeah, it hasn't been done in a month. And I don't think I can even salvage the knob out of that one, so I'm just going to ignore it and hope that the rest are doing okay. This guy here is one I bought at the plant sale at my university, which was awesome. Little panda plant. Well, decent sized panda plant. I'm hoping if I can procreate some of the leaves it dropped, maybe I'll stick a couple little guys in here. Realistically, though, I might put a little chicks and hen and chicks. Still learning the names, and just something decorative in there. We'll see. This here is my ivy plant. I've just repotted it. It was in a hanging basket, and it didn't matter how much water I gave it or how far into the light I put it. It just kept drying out and dying. I finally gave up watering it and used one of these guys in there for it. Because then I thought, well, at least then it's watering itself. And it doesn't seem to be doing so great. But I put it here yesterday. I repotted it with soil. Put it in here yesterday. And it's already perked up. So I'm thinking maybe it's just a location in the house. And I'm thinking I might stick it in this window, see if it can go. A couple of the plants, whenever I'm having issues, I'll put them in this window. It's definitely more of an east-facing window. Yeah, east-facing, so you see that nice morning sun. This here's my goldfish plant. Now, I'm thinking it's a hibernation thing. Like I said, very new still. Usually it's got so many more leaves on it. And annoys the hell out of my boyfriend, but they all seem to dry and fall off. So I'm hoping it's a hibernation thing over the winter, but I think it's doing all right considering the location and everything. And we'll see how it goes. I got an attempt at a fir, like a little Douglas fir up there, and it just didn't last. That was one of the ones the sustainability office was handing out, actually, so kind of a bonus there. This guy's brand new. I don't even know exactly what it is, but it looks like little upside down flowers, and I'm not historically great with flowers, so it's going to be an interesting thing to see how that goes. And then these guys are really exciting. I've replaced the soil, and I've added about 1.5 to 2 inches of rocks at the bottom for the drainage, so they should be alright. Now, this guy was totally fine, where this guy was just riddled with mealybugs. So I've basically bathed the guy, gone through with a Q-tip and washed it all out, and took out all of the soil from the roots just in case there was some of those little eggs in there. Stripped the roots, and I'm hoping he's not going to be too, too wilty after this. And put them all in new soil, cactus soil. Took it right from the bag so it wasn't even close to any of the soil that's elsewhere amongst some of the bugs. So that'll be an interesting development. We'll see how that goes. And I'll show you one more plant, and then maybe we'll look into the other plant room tomorrow. So over here is one of my favorites. And I'll be honest, I'm bad with names. My mother tells me it's a honeysuckle. It's got the most adorable little flowers that come out around like spring and summer. And apparently, if they are taken care of well enough, they will drip honey, which is why they're called a honeysuckle. Now, obviously, plants don't really make honey, so that's going to be an interesting setup. And seeing as I've got it currently over top of my archway, I'm hoping it doesn't drip per se, because that might just be a little sticky on the floor. But I have two of these plants. I do need to go through and clean them. The poor thing's got dust all over the leaves, mostly because out of all of my plants, it's the only one not on a retractable hook. So I'm very big on these hooks. I've got one up here. It's just a little, the whole idea is that when you've got a plant on it, you can pull the basket down and you can water it, especially for little shorties like me, because getting up there is a little too tricky. So I think I might stick this one on a retractable hook pretty soon, but I love just the color it gives the room. And I've heard plants are really good about purifying the air and bringing in happy thoughts and producing sort of happy hormones and everything. We'll see how that goes. Once I think all my plants are healthy again, then I'll be good. So thanks for watching. Again, my name's Cassie, and feel free to check out some of my videos. We'll see what I'm up to and what I'm doing. And if you have questions about anything, feel free to throw on there, because I started a vlog, but I haven't actually picked a topic yet. So thanks for watching.